Oh, Cotton Wool Society strikes again. Bambi. Yeah, sounding like they're going to turn down that death that was pivotal, kind of, for the story, really. I did say when they were remaking this that was going to be cut. I had a feeling that it would, because modern people can't handle stuff like that. They're wrapped up in cotton wool. And I think it's a shame, because those kind of scenes add depth to narrative. They add emotional weight. Disappointing that they're going to remove it. But I did think that was going to be the case, and hey, look. Seems like I'm proven right. Modernising Bambi. Bambi for the modern era. Sounds like a horror movie, quite frankly, doesn't it? Bambi. A modern interpretation. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, let's take a look at this, ladies and gents. Hit subscribe. If you're new here, turn the bell notifications on. YouTube's been doing something strange with all channels for quite a while. About 2 months now. Burying channels. Not just mine, it's literally any channel. Any channel. You'll have the weirdest things pop up. But the ones you subscribe to? Nah. So anyway, let's take a look. Right. Bambi's former writer. So that's important. It is the former writer. But obviously she was going to be on, she was on board. She had been on board for a certain rewrite to a certain point, and had ushered the screenplay forward a certain degree. And there's many, many writers that jump on board with these projects. So it was back in 2020 when we had learned that Disney was going to be doing a live action remake of Bambi. At the time, it was said that Geneva Robertson Direct and Lindsay Beer had been tapped to pen the screenplay, though director Sarah Polley has since joined the project, working from a newer draft written by Mika Fitzsimmons-Blue and Noah Harpster. So this individual, Lindsay Beer, spoke to Collider on her time writing the movie, and she would have been given a specific mandate from Disney. That's the important thing. Disney would have given her a mandate, a structure, what we want to include, what we don't, narrative elements that we need to carry over and some that we don't. So she suggested that Disney is exploring ways to make the traumatic death of Bambi's mother a little less harrowing for today's softer audiences. How about you don't, and they just watch it and they just deal with it? How about that? So she said the following, not to spoil the plot, but there's a treatment of the mum dying that I think some kids, some parents these days are more sensitive about than they were in the past. And I think that's one of the reasons that they haven't shown it to their children. Yeah, that's right. That's because the people that don't want to show it to their children, the parents, are absolute morons with a terrible constitution, lacking all mental fortitude to be able to teach their children and educate them that these things happen, and also to be able to console their own children. And also their children don't have the mental fortitude or conviction and sort of strength of character to be able to watch something like that and come out the other side. We're doomed. We're doomed as a society. Now, obviously, Bambi isn't the metric by which we can confirm we're doomed, but I'm pretty certain most people will agree, yeah, we're doomed as a society. Because this cotton wool wrap bollocks has to end. It's absolutely insane. So she said the following, I do think there is a way to update Bambi, and our take on it was, we did give a little bit more of a scope to it, and I just think that to be able to bring it to life for kids these days in a way that maybe they relate to a little bit more would be of service to the original. How can children relate to their mother being killed? What are you on about? The only way you relate to that is on an emotional level, i.e., if that had happened, I would be upset. There's nothing. It's fuck's sake. It's a deer, mate. You can't relate to a deer. I mean, obviously, we're anthropomorphizing the deer. There's a word for you. But you can't relate to a deer because, obviously, it's a deer. I know there's some people that, identify as furries and all that utter crap. But you're not. Alright? I'm sorry, you're not. It's bizarre. So it's unclear how Beer hoped to achieve that, but she remains resolute in a belief that this story is one which deserves to be retold for present-day moviegoers. Why? Because the old one's fantastic. What's interesting about Bambi to me is it is absolutely a classic, and it's a beautiful love poem. Such artistry to it. But that's a beautiful love poem. We just need to change it. That classic, we just need to change it, guys. You can't in one breath exclaim that something is such a classic and then follow that up or precede that with saying, but we need to change it. You can't. They are two contradictory elements. You can't sit there and praise something while simultaneously deconstructing it because it doesn't align with what you want to put out there in the world. You can't sit there and say it's so good and then go, but we have to change it. Bizarre that people don't understand this. Now, she also said, I do think there's an entire generation of children who have never seen the original that's very different from, say, Little Mermaid or Aladdin or the 90s heyday films that they've definitely already seen. I can't tell you how many kids I've seen who've never seen Bambi, which is such a shame. Really? Oh my god. Lion King didn't stop it, did it? Lion King did it. They're like, fine, sure, whatever. But that didn't, Lion King didn't traumatize people. Bambi's not going to traumatize people. I think the problem is that honestly, it's ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. God, I got no words. It's bizarre. One, it's bizarre that you want to remake it. Two, it's bizarre that you want to remake it for modern audiences. And three, it's bizarre that you're then singing its bloody praises while saying how much of a bloody classic it is. Like, it's not. If you're going to say that, if you're going to have to change it, how can you hold it to the highest of regard as being a classic? Kind of sounds like you're talking nonsense, quite frankly. But anyway, we could all see this coming. And it's strange that they haven't learned from The Little Mermaid. They would absolutely, you'd like to think that they would learn this lesson with Snow White. That's going to come out, feature significant changes to the original. And then Bambi will obviously follow up with that, I would imagine. And that will now feature confirmed significant changes from the original. Thus rendering it completely pointless. Like, why even include it at this stage? It just seems ridiculous, doesn't it? But anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please do let me know down below in the comment section. Drop your thoughts there. If you're new here, do hit subscribe, like I said. Check out the channel. Check out all the explained videos I've been doing lately as well. And check out the community tab. Take care. Bye-bye now.